It's a top 5 matchup in girls basketball tonight on 12 Sports. St. Michael Albertville comes to Hopkins to take on the top-ranked Royals. Hello and welcome to the Lindbergh Center at Hopkins High School. John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson for today's game, early season matchup. And what a great one, Ryan. These teams played a year ago, and St. Michael Albertville won easily up at STMA 76-48. I don't think we're going to have that kind of blowout one way or the other tonight.
No, we probably won't, John. But that game last year really kind of propelled St. Michael to one of their most historic years. Now, granted, they lost in the quarterfinals of the state tournament, but they're playing with a lot of confidence, and a lot of it comes from that win last year. But right now, I don't think there's a team playing better, not only in Minnesota, but maybe in all of the Midwest than the Hopkins Royals. But St. Michael Albertville, they have that in their back pocket. Hey, we beat this team last year. We know we got some very skilled players. We can match up with them. So I look for this as more of a game for St. Michael Albertville. If they could win, or even if they play well and lose, John, to kind of propel them through their conference. So it's a big matchup. I love these teams playing each other this early.
These teams were combined 56-6 last year. Great programs really at both schools. Right now, Hopkins 4-0. And St. Michael Albertville coming off a loss to Apple Valley here in the shootout over the weekend. So they're 2-1, and they want to rebound from that loss to the Eagles.
And I always am of the belief, too, that if you get a loss early in the year, it's not the worst thing in the world, because sometimes it allows a coach to get control of his team and get his message across. And the good thing about that game, they lost to Apple Valley. It was close at half, but it was played here at the Lindbergh Center. So I always think you can get extra game on that road court. That can be a big advantage, too.
There's some terrific talent on both of these teams. We're going to look at one key player from each squad, starting with the senior from St. Michael Albertville, heading to Iowa State next year, Ray Johnson.
Well, I've been watching Ray for about 5 years now, John. She's a smooth player. She's a great scorer. She's a great shooter. They need her to be a little bit more aggressive. She's averaging 19 points a game, settling for a lot of threes and a lot of jump shots, which she can make. But I think her best asset and her the way she's going to impact the game, especially tonight against a very good perimeter team in Hopkins, she's got to get to the basket. She's got to get to the foul line. It stops the clock. It slows Hopkins' transition offense. Look for Ray to get aggressive going to the basket for St. Michael Albertville to be successful tonight.
And for Hopkins, a freshman, Paige Bueckers, who I've talked to a couple of people that said, not only is she the best freshman in the state, she might already be the best high school player in the state. She is that good.
Well, we saw her, we did her games a couple times last year, and as an 8th grader, I remember commenting to you about how great I thought she was. She had a tremendous summer playing against older kids, and that confidence of having a year under her belt. She's not playing like a freshman. She's playing like a Miss Basketball finalist, averaging over 23 points per game. And how about this, John? Not just on the offensive end, 7 steals per game. So she fits this Hopkins mold where they want to get up, pressure, create turnovers. Those turnovers usually lead to baskets in transition. And she's phenomenal. She's got just great court awareness. She plays like she's much older than a 9th grader.
Both of these teams, though, certainly different than last year, Ryan. Hopkins graduated a lot of talent off their state runner-up team, including Nia Holly and Ashley Bates, who were such key players for this Hopkins program for 3 years before that. Sydney Tracy's gone from St. Michael Albertville and other seniors. So it's a little different look, and I think that's a challenge for teams, too, early in the season, just trying to get used to playing with each other in the rotations.
Well, the name is the same on the front. It's Hopkins, but each player takes on a new identity. And again, you know, Paige Bueckers, last year, she wasn't the main featured player on that team, didn't need to be. This year, she's the main feature. So it's a whole new team chemistry, dynamic. What roles are you going to fill? And that's why these early games, win or lose, it's great to play great competition. You find out who you got. You find out maybe it's someone you didn't think was going to be a major player. All of a sudden, they are a major player. And that's why I love the beginning of the basketball season. You find out where you're made, who you're made of. Your coaches are still getting to know you. And again, it's just a great matchup. I expect it to be a lot of fun tonight.
That should be a great one. St. Michael, Albertville, and Hopkins girls basketball coming up live from the Lindbergh Center next on Channel 12.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend.
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
2-1 St. Michael Albertville, 4-0 Hopkins. Set to tip off tonight at the Lindbergh Center. Exciting junior varsity game. It was won by Hopkins. 1 point. They rallied from down 14 at halftime to defeat St. Michael Albertville. Let's look at the varsity starters for tonight's game, starting with St. Michael Albertville. And the night starting five looking like this. Post player is Addie Johnson. She's a 5'10 senior. Guards Ray Johnson, 5'8 senior. Whitney Dodd, a 5'9 junior. Two youngsters, Kendall Cox, a 5'9" and 9-inch 8th grader, and Mackenzie Kramer, a 5'8" freshman. And for the Hopkins Royals, their forward Angie Hammond, a 6' junior. Whereas number 25, their guards Paige Bueckers, the 5'10 freshman. Raina Suggs, 5'7 junior, is their second leading scorer. Dee Dee Winston, a 5'8 senior, the only senior in the starting lineup. And Alayla Shakolas, a 5'7" sophomore.
Yeah, you see a lot of youth really on both sides of the ball, and that's just a testament to really both of these programs. They got great talent coming up, and I like that both coaches aren't afraid to play their youth. Even if they're one of the best players, you see them. We saw with Paige Bueckers starting and playing a lot as an 8th grader last year, and look at the dividends it's already paying off for her this year.
Quickly, the keys for each of these teams, Ryan, especially in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I think the key for St. Michael Albertville is handle pressure. Can they score enough points? Can they handle the ball, and can they get enough good shots, score points, and get up early? You don't want to fall behind early to this Hopkins team. And on the flip side for Hopkins, I think it's just play their game, right? Don't get slowed down by St. Michael Albertville. Can they get up and down in transition, speed the game up? More possessions equals more points, and Hopkins is the highest scoring team so far in the metro area.
We'll take time out, come back, and tip this one off. STMA and Hopkins high school girls basketball next on 12 Sports.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Connected community experience. It's at the core of what we do, and it's what we deliver. Keep watching for a new way to think about and experience Channel 12 and Northwest Community Television.
John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson back at the Lindbergh Center in Minnetonka. Starting lineups being introduced on both sides. For St. Michael Albertville, as we said, Brian trying to come off that loss. And as you said, early season loss, not always the worst thing, and you get a chance to bounce back tonight, although you'd probably rather not bounce back against the #1 team in the state.
No, but at the same time, what a better way to get over that, right? I'm sure Coach Ken Hamray had his girls' attention the last couple days at practice, and they know, hey, we got things we got to figure out, we got to work on, and why wait a couple weeks? Let's get right back into the thick of it. And again, I can't stress enough these early season matchups, and I love these teams that schedule hard because it does nothing but benefit you as you go along in your conference season, having this experience. So win or lose, I think if you're St. Michael Albertville, you're excited to be here, you're excited to play the best, and don't think that they don't believe they can win. They think they can win this game.
Ken Hammer's had a lot of success at St. Michael Albertville. They've had 8 state tournament appearances, Ryan, since 2006, including a state championship in Class 3A in 2009.
Yeah, and they had a sour taste in their mouth from last year, losing to White Bear Lake in the quarterfinals. I think Coach Hamray thought that was their team maybe that had the ability to win the whole thing. And, they got a couple of young transfers, one from Elk River, one from Becker, and that's what happens, winning breeds winning, and just like we've seen in Hopkins, sustained success is a lot harder to do, and there's a great example of them right there.
Ryan Cosgriff, 19th season. They've been in 5 state tournaments just in the last 6 years. 4 of those ended in state championships. Last year, state runner-up to Minnetonka.
Yeah, and I think they felt, again, they're kind of that same sour taste. They felt like they were the best team last year and gave that championship game away, and hats off to Minnetonka. How funny, though, that Minnetonka Hopkins from the same conference, they split during the regular season, and then Minnetonka ends up winning that championship. But they're loaded, just like they do every year in both girls and boys. And it's because these young kids, they're watching their older sisters, their cousins, their friends' sisters be successful. They want to be a part of this. This is a magical atmosphere and just one of the great programs in all of high school sports, this girls basketball program here at Hopkins.
Now we are ready to tip it off here at the Lindbergh Center. Hammond winning the tip, and quickly Hopkins to the basket, and 2 points, 3 seconds into the game. Can't get much better than that. Raina Suggs with the hoop for Hopkins.
Yeah, no surprise too, John. You're seeing full court pressure. They want this pace to be as fast as humanly possible, and they want to pressure the youth of Albertville. And right now you have the 8th grader, Kendall Cox, handling the ball, and she did a nice job so far handling the pressure.
Ray Johnson hanging it off to Whitney Dolt, back off to Johnson. Johnson and Beckers there going at it one-on-one, and traveling whistled against Ray Johnson.
And that's a matchup individually that Ray Johnson's going to have to win. And Paige Bueckers is a phenomenal player, but she's a 9th grader. Ray's had 4 years of varsity experience, going to Iowa State next year. It's got a little bit of the strength and the size. She's got to win that matchup.
Dina Winston thought she was fouled, ball knocked out of bounds. And it's going to stay with Hopkins off of St. Michael Albertville. Winston will pass it in.
Yeah, one thing too, watch the underneath out of bounds plays that Coach Cosgriff runs. They usually get buckets out of it. And so I know that's a priority. When you're playing Hopkins, you got to defend underneath out of bounds. A lot of teams are just happy to get it in, John. They're trying to score out of it, and they do a really, really nice job of it.
Suggs drives in from the wing. Little floater from 6 feet, won't go. And we get a foul whistled on Hammond coming over the back. And the St. Michael Albertville basketball.
And that's what penetration does. Now, the Knights were fortunate to get an over-the-back call, but you got great guards that are constantly attacking the basket. You forget about Angie Hammond. She's 6 feet tall and long, and she's a great rebounder, great offensive rebounder as well.
Kenzie Kramer will bring it up for STMA and into the front court. Off on the pass to Addie Johnson in the paint. Kramer picks up her dribble, wide open underneath, and putting it in for 2 is Johnson. Good look by Kramer, and Johnson ties it up.
Well, and Kramer didn't start the first game of the year. She's averaging over 13 points a game. And she's only a 9th grader, but she's got very good decision making.
Suggs with a three-pointer. She has all 5 of Hopkins' points.
Well, Suggs is off to a great start, averaging over 17, John. She's got a season high of 32 for this Hopkins team, and there you see a nice swing pass. She gets her feet set, squared up, and she's got a beautiful-looking jump shot.
Averages 40% on three-point tries so far this season. STMA trying to inbound again. They do get it to Ray Johnson. Kramer, front court. Pull up in the paint, too strong. Rebounded by Hammond. Off for Bueckers. Lead pass ahead, too high for Shakolis and out of bounds.
And those are turnovers that Coach Cosgrove will live with, right? They're pushing the ball. You cannot relax. You need to sprint back, protect the paint. And normally that's a home run for a layup there. And unfortunately for the Knights, it was a turnover.
Kendall Cox into the front court, getting the pass to Kramer on the wing. Kramer, three-point shot, short, and rebounded by Chakolis. Ahead to Suggs. Offensive foul on Suggs.
Oh, that's a big play. Number one, you can see Ray Johnson sprinted back. She got good position. And sometimes you get a charge early, John, and it kind of takes some of that tenacity out of the offense. Like, okay, they're going to be prepared for this. Maybe we're not quite as aggressive. I think they're going to get a legal screen there. Yep.
We whistled against Mackenzie Kramer of St. Michael Albertville, and that'll turn the ball over to Hopkins.
Well, you got an 8th grader defending maybe the state's best 9th grader. That's a heck of a matchup between two young but very talented players.
Dee Winston has the most varsity experience of anybody on this Hopkins team. Goes to Shakolis from Hammond, who's fouled. And Delilah Shakolis will go to the line to shoot 2. Fouls on Whitney Dole, her first, team second. First free throw is up and good.
Yeah, Chakolis only been in the line 5 times coming into the game, made 2 of them. So that one looked about as pure as you could hope for. 2 in a row.
Averages 6.5 points a game. And that's 7-2 Hopkins.
This is kind of that careful point for the Knights when you're on the road against them, is, you know, just unforced turnovers like that. There's no reason to force that into the corner. And this is where experience plays a role in a game against the #1 team in the state. Being able to just take what the defense gives you. It's 7-2. You don't want to find yourself down big on the road against Hopkins.
Bueckers pulls up off the glass, miss. Shakolis offensive board and puts it back in.
And you can see the size of Hopkins right now giving the Knights a lot of problems. You've got to box out.
Bueckers gets a hand on the ball, out of bounds off of Kramer. Turnover, St. Michael Albertville. Bueckers creating that one. And the timeout taken by St. Michael Albertville.
And you can see what Hopkins is doing is that they're falling back to this half-court trap. And you put Paige Bueckers, who's 6 foot, maybe 5'11", but she's long, she anticipates. And that cross-court pass, it hangs in the air like that. It's like having a Deion Sanders in the secondary, right? She's a ball hawk. You've got to be very sharp with your passes. The other thing we always used to work against pressure is ball fakes, right? Ball fakes work good. When teams are trying to play the passing lanes, you ball fake, and then you look opposite. That's how you break it down. Right now, the Knights need to find something offensively, something easy, get a good look, get something to get the momentum back.
Hammond inbounding to Winston. We've played not quite 3 minutes, 9-2. Hopkins with the lead. Bueckers up and in for her first points.
What a smooth move. She goes right, comes back behind her back to her left, and just silky smooth.
Kramer off on the wing. Return pass out of bounds. Gold trying to get it back to where it couldn't, and another Knights turnover.
It was the right idea. They're trapping that first pass. You give it right back to to the passer. That time it was Kramer, but just again, kind of that floating pass. You got to be a little sharper with those passes.
Vanessa Alexander, 5'11" freshman, number 45, now in for St. Michael Albertville. Shakolis from the wing scores. She's got 6 points early, and it's 13-2.
Well, aggressive, too, and she caught that at the three-point line. Quick move, got all the way to the rim. Excellent-looking shot.
11-0 run here for Hopkins, almost traveling on Cox there. Not called, and Ray Johnson with it.
This is where Ray needs to go to work. She's sensing that her team needs her to score.
Drives and does score.
And again, you see her, she's got good, quick feet, and she's got great strength, great body control, able to finish through contact at the rim. A much-needed basket for the Knights.
Scored 30 in the game last year against Hopkins. Underneath Shakolis again, this time gets blocked, and then we get a foul on the Knights.
And this is kind of the dilemma that Hopkins puts you in. Here's that drive by Ray Johnson. You can see her go through the contact. That's what they need her to do, attacking the basket, getting her easy shots, not settling for contested threes or jump shots. But you can see with Hopkins, they great shooters, but they're very quick. If you come out and defend them up at the three-point line, they have no problem just blowing by you. And again, another easy layup. St. Michael Albertville's got to rotate over. They got to get help.
Ray Suggs on that basket. Alexander gets blocked by Hammond. Ball out of bounds off Alexander. Great defense by Angie Hammond.
Yeah, watch the timing of this. She doesn't leave her feet till the very end. You can see that's an art, being able to block those shots without getting contact on the body. And again, number 45, Vanessa Alexander, only a 9th grader for Albertville. And I think experience is going to play a big part in this game tonight.
Bueckers deep three ball. That's off the iron, but Suggs rebounds. Back to Winston. Bueckers, quick ball movement here by Hopkins. Hammond missed the shot. Shakolis rebounds. Gets tied up. We'll have a jump ball. Altered a possession. We'll give it to St. Michael Albertville.
Yeah, lucky for the Knights, too, because that would have been an easy putback for Hammond. And again, you pay so much attention to the perimeter of Hopkins. You forget about their interior with Hammond and Chakolis on there, and you got to put a body on them. You got to limit Hopkins to one shot.
And travel, or Kramer rather, sensing the trap, trying to get the pass away and shuffled her feet.
You get the feeling that some of these young players, as talented as they are for the Knights, almost that deer in the headlight, right? It's a different speed, it's a different length. I've been there before. I remember when I first played my first game in the NBA Pro-Am League that I played in, and it was kind of that same feeling, like just.
Ooh. Bueckers goes down hard here. Get a foul call. She does get back up. No foul, just out of bounds off of Bueckers.
Oh, that looked bad. Thank goodness both players okay. And again, there's that kind of careless lob pass. You got to get the ball across half court.
And another turnover for St. Michael Albertville. That defense for Hopkins is dazzling St. Michael Albertville right now.
And a lot of times young players will try to out-dribble that type of pressure. It's just easy. You throw over the top, you ball fake, and you get to the open spot, and you just got to trust your teammates. And that's a big part of being young and learning and playing as a team.
Winston, pull-up jumper is good. Dee Dee Winston, the senior, her first 2 of 4 of the 5 starters have scored now for Hopkins. Another turnover for the Knights.
And there's Dee Dee Winston again. You said it, John. Maybe the most experienced varsity player on the floor tonight. Maybe not as talented as Paige Bueckers, but she was a big part of that team last year as well. And they need her to be a big, big part of this season and be a leader, being one of the only seniors that gets a lot of time.
Winston missing here. Suggs rebounds. Off to Bueckers. Lost the ball. Gets it back. And then taken away by St. Michael Albertville. Riley Carlson drives to the basket. His foul will go to the line for 2.
Well, I like Riley Carlson just into the game off the bench and gets a steal. She didn't look like she was hesitant at all. She went right at the pressure, drew the contact. And again, free throws are so important on the road. You get to reset. You get everyone to settle down a little bit. You get nice, easy looks. And you got to make them, and she does.
Carlson just 4 free throw attempts on the season, now 3 makes. Jade Presley, 5'8" freshman, number 23, into the lineup for Hopkins. This time they have gone to their bench. Second one is also good for Carlson. That's 17-6.
You see St. Michael Albertville switch into a zone defense here. And that's sometimes what you got to do against a really good team. Nice effort, too.
Hammond tied up.
You just get that team out of rhythm a little bit. You see Hopkins having great success driving to the basket at ease, getting good looks. You switch into a zone, maybe you disrupt that rhythm a little bit.
Bueckers trying to come through two players, gets held, and a foul called.
You know, even though that shot didn't count, she made it. To rip through a double team like that and then have the wherewithal to get off the shot, just talent.
Calls on Carlson, her first, team's fourth. Knights back the other way, though. Johnson ahead, and good effort by Presley to get a hand on that ball defensively and break up the pass.
Well, and sometimes you play in a team, Hopkins, that likes to get up and down in transition. The best way to attack them is to go in transition yourself. But that time, Hopkins does a nice job hustling back, breaking that up.
In some trouble is Jaden Hanson. Releases the ball out of bounds, but another St. Michael Albertville turnover.
And that's where Jaden Hanson just got to keep her dribble until she knows where her outlet is. The other thing is Hopkins does such a good job at denying the pass. And you combat that by going back door. Set your man up and go back door, see if you can get an easy layup. Use their pressure against them. Much easier said than done, though. Wow.
Bueckers with the assist to Chacolas.
What a beautiful pass out of the zone. That's when you're 6 feet tall, long, and lengthy. You got great court vision. You see that seam, and she just hits it. And I'd love to be her teammate playing with her. And
Hanson off for Johnson. Starting to drive in from the wing. Chacolas right on her defensively, though. And then Hammond with those long arms reaches in and gets the steal. Ahead to Bueckers' front court. Draws the double team, pass across, intended for Hammond. Johnson intercepts for Hanson. Gathers it in, has to come back out with it. Hanson trying to drive on Bueckers.
There you
nice
go.
Release pass to Johnson,
Nice.
and Ray Johnson up and in.
And there you saw it. Pick up your dribble, you go back door, you get a nice layup, good finish, under control. Ray Johnson, I think, needs to get the ball in her hands and get going to the basket.
Bueckers across, open three look. A little strong by Suggs, and the rebound to Alexander.
Yeah, nice box out by Alexander, not allowing Hopkins to have second chance opportunities.
Kendall Cox trying to go behind the back with a dribble. Bueckers with the steal. Chacolas and one.
How great has Delayla Chacolas been tonight? Watch her in transition. Takes the contact and finishes. That's where if you're going to foul in transition, John, you got to make sure the player can't get the shot off. You give them a little touch foul, they end up with a three-point play opportunity. And Delayla's having a heck of a start here to this ball game. Already 10 points in double figures and really done it in a variety of ways. She's really been more of a threat kind of down low. We've seen her in transition. We've seen her shot fake, get to the basket, offensive rebound. She's done it all so far tonight for the Royals.
Last foul on Riley Carlson, her second, so she comes out, doled back in. We get a foul on the free throw. We have a lane violation. We're going to do it again. The second free throw, or this one will be the one that counts, and this one is good.
You know, little things like that, but you give a great team second chance opportunities at making a free throw, they're going to take advantage of it.
Pass into the middle of the court, stolen, and a little too strong. Hammond, the rebounds, that won't go, and Alexander has it. So I had two good looks at it. First Presley, and then Hammond, and STMA comes away with the ball. Into the hands now of the freshman Kramer. To the corner, three-point try from there. Comes out for Doles, out of bounds. Off the hand of Hammond and out. Ray Johnson got a brief rest for the Knights and is back in.
And Kendall Cox, number 11 for the Knights. She's 6 for 10 on the year from three. So even though there was a hand in her face, that's a shot St. Michael wants her to take. Now you got good space, and let's see who's going to step up offensively for the Knights. Who's going to attack the basket, either get a layup or get their teammate a good shot.
Kramer left wing to Dold. Back for Kramer. Into the lane, now open three by Cox. Too strong, followed up by Alexander. That won't go, and Hammond rebound. Presley rebounds.
Yep, good offense there. They got a good open shot off a dribble penetration. Got an offensive rebound. They just got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it was a much better possession than they've had.
They controlled that pressure, and that's all you got to do is just relax and control the pressure. It's so hard to do, though, when a team just feeds off that energy. You just feel the energy, even on the sideline. Hopkins just waiting, licking their lips, waiting for that steal opportunity.
Bueckers is back in. Shakulis gets a rest for Hopkins. Now it's Ray Johnson bringing it to the front court against Winston. It's Dold. They're Cox with it. It's a screen. Bueckers right on top of her, though.
Well, and great defense by Bueckers. She didn't allow Kendall Cox to even bring the ball over to the left. They were setting a screen for Ray Johnson to come off. And maybe knowing the scouting report doesn't even allow Cox to bring the ball over to that side of the floor.
Bueckers whistled for a foul, her first, team's fourth. Baseline shot, and Johnson is fouled and will shoot two. Fouls on Ray Johnson, Ray Johnson go to the line. Fouled on Jade Presley, her first.
Well, Jade Presley, number 23, only a ninth grader playing. So I hate to tell everyone else in the Lake Conference and around the state, but this Hopkins version is a very, very young, and they're going to be pretty strong for the next couple of years.
Second one, not good, and rebounded by Hammond. Nice job to save it, getting it to Hannah Kleist. Into the front court, Suggs. Releasing the pass to Bueckers. Drives, off balance, shot up and in and one.
Wow. That's just a great move. Watch the body control here. Kind of jabs, watch this crossover right here, and then watch her finish. Look at that, through three different nights. Able to have great body control to avoid getting a charge, and then the touch to give it off the backboard to go in. That's a beautiful looking move.
12 out of 14 on free throws this season.
They can blame you. That's a jinx, John.
Gets a rebound, though, and ends up with a 4-point play.
Well, that's why. She wanted to get a rebound and get 2 more points. That's good planning.
Johnson gets trapped near half court, gets the pass away. Now the left wing underneath on one. On a basket by Addie Johnson.
Addie Johnson averaging 6 points per game. And really one of the few seniors that plays for the Knights as well. But that time, even though the Knights got a nice look out of that ball's still floating in the air a little bit. They got to be a little bit more crisp on their passing.
Missed the rim on the free throw attempt, so it's out of bounds to Hopkins. That last foul on Winston. On Suggs, rather, her second. So Arena Suggs, who's got 7 points here in the first half, has to come out. Arena Suggs has played well early.
Well, and Suggs, along with Bueckers, they're people that can go from 7 points to 25 points in a few minutes. That's how explosive they are.
Johnson getting a hand in front of that pass, denying it from Shakulis.
But I think to beat Hopkins, I think you got to try to keep the score in the 60s, maybe the high 50s. If they get to that 70s, 80s, or even worse in the 90s, there's not too many teams that are going to be able to score with them.
Bueckers can hit the three and does there. Her first three tonight came in, Ryan, 7 out of 9 on the three-pointers in their first 4 games.
I was going to say, when you say she can hit the three, you mean shoot 80% from three.
Cox rebounded the ball and brings it back out for the Knights. Kleist defensively on her now, hands off to Kramer. Left side, it's Dole driving through the legs of Kramer into the backcourt. Shakulis has it for Hopkins. She'll lay it up. Nice little floater up and in.
What a great move. Do you see her grab that ball, take a back dribble like she was hesitating? Defense relaxes, and then she just attacks the basket. She's got 13 points here in the first half. John, first of all, watch the hustle getting the ball, but watch this for 1 second. It looks like she's going to relax. Defense relaxing. Look at the angle. God, those Hopkins players, they hit that hole hard. They're like running backs. They see that hole and bam, they hit it.
Timeout, St. Michael Albertville. Excuse me, Ryan. A 20-point game now.
Yeah, and then if you're St. Michael, you're thinking, okay, we're down 20. There's 7 minutes left. I always used to break this down. We're not going to probably tie the game by halftime. Can we get it into single digits? Because we've seen that a lot. Teams down by single digits can make a comeback. So you break these next 7 minutes, and we got to win the next 7 minutes by 10 points. That's doable. If you look at it like that, it's not quite as daunting. And again, you and I talked about it in the pregame. Can you handle their pressure? I mean, I don't know. I'd say the turnover numbers around probably 8 to 9 already with 7 minutes left in the first half. So take care of the ball, get good shots, and you'll have a chance to stay in this game or to get back into this game.
Delayla Shakolis, just a sophomore for Hopkins. Ryan already with 5 baskets in this game, 3 out of 3 from the line.
She's had great rebounds, great hustle, defense. She's kind of done it all. And when you can get that from maybe your second, third, fourth option on your team, that's pretty remarkable.
Kramer three-point shot, a little bit strong and rebounded by Bueckers. Bueckers attacking the basket, short on the shot, rebounded by the Knights. Pass into the front court, pull up, a little too strong off the glass by Carlson. And out of bounds to St. Michael Albertville.
Well, and Hopkins speeds you up on offense. The key is you got to play quick, but you don't want to play fast. You can see even on that shot right there, and it was a nice look, but you just take your time, get your feet set, get a good shot. Don't play fast. Play quick, but don't play fast.
John Wooden.
I thought it was Ryan Iverson. But, I mean, if you want to give him credit, he's got enough stuff. He's got a pyramid. He's got all this other stuff. I'll take that one.
6:10 to play in the half. Off the glass, up and in. Nicely done by the freshman Mackenzie Kramer, her first basket tonight.
And that's huge. That's just for your confidence. Like, hey, I can play. They play in the same game I can. I can do it.
Bueckers scores and is fouled.
The problem is you got to come back down the other end and defend this team and players like Paige Bueckers. I'll tell you, she's got such a quick first step. Watch that explosion. You know, she's not very thick, very big, but she's got great length, and she's got very good strength, too. She's able to gather herself and get off a good shot, even through contact. There's a reason why a lot of people think she might be the best player in the state, and you're seeing it really on display. We've seen her hit from long range. We've seen a couple now and ones. Excellent free throw shooter, too. Kind of does it all. A couple of great passes.
Played to 21 now for Hopkins. Kramer. Back out high. Ray Johnson, a long three. That is too long. And rebounded by Alexander. Stripped away from her by Presley. Ball on the floor. Timeout taken by Hopkins. A lot of bodies on the floor. Brian Cosgriff sensed Delayla Shakolis and in some trouble and calls the timeout.
Yeah, and it's a heads-up play by Coach Cosgriff, but that looked to be mutual possession there by both teams, but heads-up play. But, you know, even on that time, Ray Johnson, that's a shot she can shoot, she can make. And you got the trap in the corner, and you get a big ball skip across the floor, and you get an open look. That's just how St. Michael Albertville is going to have to play. They got to be smart and poised. And they'll live with Ray Johnson shooting an open three. That's a shot she can make.
Dee Winston will inbound here for Hopkins. Royals looking to go 5-0 here to start the season. Here's Winston, finds Bueckers, defended by Hanson. Shakolis had it knocked out of bounds. It's off of Carlson.
If you're watching the game, John, on one end of the floor, Hopkins isn't letting St. Michael Albertville do anything on offense. They're having to work just to move. Whereas you see Hopkins is running their plays smoothly, freely. There's an open look for Paige Bueckers who knocks it down. St. Michael's not imposing any will defensively, whereas you're seeing on this end of the floor, the Knights just aren't able to do what they normally want to do. No one's open. There's no penetration. Every pass is contested. Every play, every possession has been a challenge for St. Michael.
Down low, it's off the hands of Johnson, and a turnover again for the Knights. Bueckers to an open Kleist in the corner, who drains the three.
Wow. Penetrating kick, wide open. Hannah Kleist just into the game. Knocks down her first three of the year. Beautiful.
Ray Johnson can't score, Alexander can't score it. And it's Hammond in the front court for Hopkins. Back for Bueckers. Driving again to the basket and two more.
You know, and rather than finish with her left, she had to move a little bit to her left and finish with her right hand to avoid the charge. Great body control, great touch too. That's a tough angle to hit that off the backboard.
And all of a sudden she's got 16 points.
Yeah, well, I told you, both her and Raina Suggs can put up, 15, 20 points in a hurry.
Alexander waits for the defense to literally collapse on her. Lose the last couple baskets.
And to me, that's what makes Paige Bueckers really special. There's a lot of girls that can score. Watch her contort her body there to avoid the charge, but when you're unselfish enough, you have court awareness and vision where you know the defense is going to collapse every time you drive, knowing where your shooters are, and she makes the unselfish play, wide open three. That's just going to make her game more explosive and more open as she starts trusting teammates. Teams have to stay home. That's why Hopkins is a nightmare to match up against.
Deja Tremmel in for Hopkins now for the first time. 5'10" senior gets the rebound here off the Alexander miss. Front court it goes, and it is lost. Kleist turned it over, taken by Alexander. Now it's Ray Johnson with it in the front court.
Go, she's got to attack the basket there.
Gives it off to Carlson, who's fouled. And Riley Carlson will go to the line to shoot two.
Well, Riley Carlson, came into this game really averaging about 3 points per game, but she's been kind of a spark off the bench here, attacking the basket. We saw her get a couple of, this is her third free throw already of the night. She had a couple nice pull-ups in transition. She's not playing with any fear. She's attacking the rim, and you like to see that.
Maddie Johnson back in for St. Michael Albertville, and Bueckers for Hopkins. Second free throw also good by Carlson. Hopkins quickly back to offense, missed the quick short one underneath. Bueckers deep in the corner, gets the rebound and able to get it off for Shikolas. Trying to drive to the basket and is fouled.
Well, that's you're seeing right at the bottom, number 22 for St. Michael Albertville, Jaden Hansen. She's got to step in front of that and draw the charge. Right there, she takes one more step to her left. That's going to be an offensive foul where you're forcing that kick out there. Instead, you're a little bit late, you reach, you don't move your feet, you end up getting a blocking foul. And now in the bonus, too, sending a very hot player right now in Chikolas to the free throw line.
Now 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Well, she's more than doubled her season average already in the first half.
In and out on the free throw, but then a follow-up up and in. The basket for Tremmel.
Well, they had her boxed out. St. Michael, a little confusion. They tipped the ball up. Tremmel does a nice job going and getting it.
Knocked away by Presley. Collision in the backcourt between Huxley and Hansen, then all bounds off of Hansen.
And again, that pass just floating in the air just enough. You got to be sharp with your pass, crisp. When you know a team's looking for steals, playing those passing lanes, you got to be sharp with that. Too many lackadaisical passes.
Winston drive. Missed the shot. Follow-up is good. And the basket for Jade Presley.
And the thing, too, John, is it seems like Hopkins is the one playing with urgency. That time you get a missed shot, a couple of white jerseys standing watching the ball, and you see all these blue jerseys attacking it. And that time Presley gets it and finishes another and one opportunity here for the Royals.
In and out on the free throw. Alexander the rebound. Off to Kramer, who's into the front court for the Knights. 3 minutes to play in the first half. It has been all Hopkins. Now Hanson with it. Starts a drive, hands off to Addie Johnson. Alexander, short jumper up and in.
Nice job, simple game. Beautiful pass, but Addie Johnson penetrates hard. Help defense comes. She finds her teammate, Vanessa Alexander, knocks down the jumper. Nice possession.
Presley, 2-point shot, not good. Shikolis the rebound. Lobbing it to the other baseline. Tremmel's open, missed the shot. Johnson the rebound and gets fouled in the backcourt. We'll go the other way for a 1-and-1. Now on Tremmel, her first.
Well, and Hopkins, just you look at their size, their length, their strength too, right down low. I think a lot of it is just you got a smaller Knight player trying to box out a bigger, stronger, more athletic Hopkins player, and they're winning a lot of those 50-50 balls. You know, those are the things. You got to make your free throws. You can't turn the ball over, and you got to win those 50-50 battles when you're on the road against a really good team.
Foul on Addie Johnson, trying to get the offensive rebound for the Knights on the missed free throw, and we'll come back the other way. That's the 10th St. Michael Albertville foul of the half, and Chikolis will shoot 2.
And good effort by the Knights, but you can't fall 90 feet away from the basket.
First free throw missed. Second one does go in. That's good. Free throw good, and then a foul called on Hopkins on Tremmel. And so will St. Michael Albertville come back and shoot free throws. Free throw up and in for Addie Johnson.
Well, the Knights come into the game averaging 64 points. And as great as we've talked about Hopkins' offense, they only give up 37 points per game. So they're equally as tough defensively. And you can see so far doing a nice job holding a pretty high-scoring Knights offense in check here in the first half.
Becker's shot gets partially blocked. We get a timeout. 30-second timeout for the Knights. Comes to 2:17 to play in the first half. Ryan will be talking to each of the coaches here at halftime.
Well, and you like to see that, Kent Hamry for the Knights. You're down 27. You're still coaching like every possession matters, every play matters. Get a timeout, because again, you look at big picture. What can we gain from this game? We're probably, at this point, not going to come back and win this game, but what kind of team do I have? What kind of fight do my girls have in a game like this? Who's tough? Who's going to step up against that kind of pressure? Who's going to make plays right now? And I'm sure he's challenging his girls, you know, not only for the rest of this half, but at halftime as well. As I don't care if we win or lose. I just want to know what kind of character my team has.
Knights down to 2 timeouts remaining in the game here. We wind down toward 2 minutes to play in the first half.
You know, again, you see that ball pressure. Paige Bueckers in that passing lane, well extended beyond the three-point line. That's where you just got to pump fake and go back door. Make them pay for pressuring you like that. The few times we've seen St. Michael counter with a back door, it's been successful. They've been able to get shots out of it.
Here's Hanson with it. Her shot missed off the glass. Alexander tying up with Shikolas. Change of possession. Hopkins basketball.
Oh, and again, nice job, Jaden Hansen, get into that lane, but kind of not squaring up, taking a good shot right there. She did an excellent job of getting there, but make it count, make that shot count, make it a good shot.
Winston hands off for Bueckers. Stutter step, then finds Tremmel open underneath. Can't hit, and Kramer rebounds. They head into the front court with the pass to Alexander.
Excellent pass. Good job keeping her head up. Mackenzie Kramer and Vanessa Alexander, the young post player for St. Michael, running the floor, gets rewarded.
Alexander right on Bueckers' face defensively. It's past her, though. Bueckers does, and we'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, really one of the only easy baskets we've seen tonight for the Knights, and it comes in transition. And again, we always talk about how how do you beat a team like Hopkins? Well, what's their strength? Transition. What if we get out and run? What if we pressure them? Sometimes I think teams get so pigeonholed and we got to play slow and smart instead of being the aggressor against this team. And a rare free throw miss by Paige Bueckers.
Gets the second one. Her 17th point of the first half. 48-22. Just over a minute to play in the half now. Hansen for Kramer. Dishes off. Johnson to Alexander, around and in. A good ball movement by the Knights. Vanessa Alexander's got 6 points off the bench.
No, excellent ball movement. You see, no one held the ball for longer than a half a second. They caught it, swung it, got a nice open look.
Dee Winston trying to drive and fouled by Ray Johnson. Second on Ray Johnson. Total of 7 players in the game with 2 fouls each, but nobody with 3 yet. Winston will shoot 2. First time at the free throw line tonight for the senior. 70% free throw shooter on the season. One more coming. Three points for Dee Winston. 49-24 Royals. Kramer, corner, steps in, 18-footer, not good. Basket good.
Well, it's not.
It whistle blew because a ball, a child's ball came rolling out on the court, but I think
it's not your night when you get one of your few offensive rebounds with a putback and make it.
I think they're going to say the basket was good because the ball felt was already in the air. It will be Hopkins basketball. And it's 49-26, and we play on.
And again, that shot came because you pass over the defense. You get a good, quick shot, offensive rebound. You're being the aggressive, and that's been all good tonight when the Knights have been aggressive on offense.
Alexander getting that last basket, by the way, for the Knights. Now a foul on St. Michael Albertville. They'll send Jade Presley, the Hopkins freshman, to the line for 2.
Well, Alexander, really one of the few bright spots here in the first half for the Knights. She's got 8 points, a bunch of rebounds. She's competing down there. She came into the game, with 10 points on the whole year, so almost doubled her season total in points. So she's been great.
Hopkins already at 51 points as Presley knocks down both free throws.
On pace to give up over 100 points. You're not going to win too many games when the other team's got on pace to get 100.
Corner 3 ball hits the side of the basket off the hand of Dold and rebounded by Hopkins. Here's Bueckers pushing the pace for Hopkins.
Well, smart play.
Final seconds of the half. Bueckers Corner three to end the half is in. Nice assist from Paige Bueckers, and Jade Presley drains it to make it 54-26 as the clock's running out. Presley open three, definitely beat the buzzer and puts it in for a 28-point Hopkins lead now at 54-26. And all Hopkins right from the start pretty much. There was a 2-2 game, then an 11-0 run for Hopkins to get them going, and they never really looked back here as the half has continued. And now at halftime, 54-26 score. Let's go down courtside to Ryan Iverson with Ken Hamring.
All right, thanks, John. Ken, what'd you think here in the first half?
Well, we were a little bit shell-shocked. We got off to probably the worst start you get with an opening layup, and then it just snowballed after that. And, we kind of hit a panic button. Not only our young kids, but our whole team. And, there's things that are out there. They're overplaying. We're not taking any advantage of back cutting them and stuff. And, for a few minutes there in the first half, we did show that, hey, we can do this, but it's got to be more consistent.
If you take out the unforced turnovers, the tip passes, the steals like that, when you guys have settled down and you've gotten shots that you want to get.
Yeah, that's what's just happened. We told them, when you're playing Hopkins, you're going to get the pressure, and it's just to be able to handle it and make good passes, fake a pass, make a pass. It's old school.
It's the fourth game of the year. Obviously, you want to still win this game, but what does this mean long-term for your team? You got a lot of youth on it. What are you trying to tell them at halftime here?
We need to get better in the second half. Whether we win this game or not, it's a long shot of winning, but you know what? We just need to get better. And I noticed I was happy with the way we did get a little better. We challenged Vanessa Alexander to go guard Paige, and she did a nice job on it and stuff. And we got to do our job and just take care of the ball. And you know what? Chip away at it, see what happens. You never know.
You bet. Good luck in the second half, Coach. You bet. John, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. And we will hear from Coach Consgriff before the second half begins. We'll come back with our halftime intermission, highlights and more. Hopkins, St. Michael Albertville basketball. It's the Royals, top-ranked team in Class 4A. They're up big, 54-26 a score. More prep basketball from the Lindbergh Center on 12 Sports after this.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
With Ryan Iverson, I'm John Jacobson. It's 54-26. Hopkins leading St. Michael Albertville at halftime. Some good individual performance and some good defense by Hopkins in this first half. They get that basket early in the first few seconds of the half, literally 3 seconds into the game.
Right out of the
and they're off
ball.
and running, like Coach Hamry said from there. And it's been mostly Hopkins here tonight.
Well, and it's tempo, right? And we talk about that tempo. Hopkins get a lot of easy baskets in transition. They end up pressuring you, and you end up playing fast, more turnovers. Here was a nice play. Ray Johnson drives hard to the basket. I think St. Michael Albertville needs her to take this game over and just go to the basket every time. She's got the strength and the ability to do that.
Paige Bueckers, 17 points. Delayla Shakola is a nice surprise offensively. Not so much that she can't score, but 15 points in this first half. And you see two right there. And Bueckers, outstanding as she often is, able to twist that one in for two.
So athletic. Just the ability to finish that. And again, there you see St. Michael Albertville taking care of the basketball. They can get good shots. This might look like a replay of the one we just saw, but two separate plays. She's got that quick right to left cross. Here in transition, nice job running the court by Vanessa Alexander. She's been a bright spot for the Knights.
And then that three-pointer to beat the first half buzzer by Jade Presley that ended the half. There's the top scorers. Addie Johnson with 8. Ray Johnson, Alexander also with 8 points in the first half. Bueckers was 17. Shakul was 15. Marina Suggs and Jade Presley, 7 points each for Hopkins.
Well, Paige Bueckers has 17, John, and I bet she's got another 12 to 14 points in assists as well. So she's had her hand in almost all the action offensively for Hopkins.
28-point Hopkins lead at halftime. We'll take a break, come back with more high school girls basketball on 12 Sports after this.
Connected community experience. It's at the core of what we do and it's what we deliver. Keep watching for a new way to think about and experience Channel 12 and Northwest Community Television.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Connected community experience. It's at the core of what we do and it's what we deliver. Keep watching for a new way to think about and experience Channel 12 and Northwest Community Television.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Hopkins 54, St. Michael Albertville 26. Back to courtside we go. Brian Iverson with Brian Cosgrove.
All right, thanks, John. Coach, you're up 28 at halftime. You just said to me we're playing a really good team. They're very well coached. What did you tell the girls at halftime?
I said they're going to come after us. I know that. They're going to try to take the ball out of Paige's hands. So we have to be ready for them. I've known Kent for a long time, and I'll tell you what, he'll have his players ready to go.
How is it, they were really prepared, or they thought they were prepared for your speed, the way you guys pressure, and yet when you get into the game, they got a lot of youth on their side too. That speed and your length seem to really bother them.
Well, the game's not over, and, that one half down, I'm sure they'll do something to adjust. Like I said, they're a very good team. I've seen them a lot this year and seen them over the summer. Those kids will step up.
And last for me, Paige Bueckers, we saw her a lot as an 8th grader. Obviously her scoring, but I was really impressed with how unselfish she was, getting to the middle of the paint, finding open teammates. Is that a quality that makes her really almost unguardable?
She's got so many qualities. First and foremost, she's a beautiful person, and she just cares so much about the team. So I'm very fortunate to be able to coach such a wonderful kid.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, guys.
All right, back to you, John.
Thanks, Ryan. And Bueckers with 17 points to lead the way in the first half. We mentioned Shakolis with 15, but it gets contributions from so many players, and not so much, or not even just in the scorebook, but good play defensively. We saw Angie Hamlin with some good strong defensive play. Keisha Tremmel in her brief time there. Jade Presley at both ends, and Presley also contributing with 7 points. So a lot of different ways that Hopkins can come at you at both ends of the court, and that's the challenge not only for St. Michael Albertville tonight, but for any of the players that Hopkins plays, the teams that Hopkins plays this season. They had 4 one-sided wins so far against Osseo, Moorhead, Shakopee, and Casson Manorville. They'll get their first conference test on Friday at defending state champion Minnetonka. Skippers lost a lot from last year's state tournament team, but I know this will be one that Hopkins will look forward to, playing the Skippers on Friday.
Well, you think they were excited to play St. Michael Albertville from last year's defeat. You can bet they've had that date marked on their calendar, and that should be a great one too. Minnetonka, a couple of new faces there, but they're always very well coached, always very talented. So that's going to be, Hopkins-Minnetonka might be one of the best rivalries, and really in all sports, but especially girls and boys basketball in the metro area. Doesn't matter what the records are, you throw them out. They're going to be two teams that are going to be trying everything they can to win that game.
Ray Johnson, a corner three, not good. Rebounded by Alexander. And then a foul as Raina Suggs, a little too aggressive defensively, trying to take the ball away from Mackenzie Kramer, deny her the ball. And Suggs becomes the first player in the game to pick up a third personal foul.
And you saw Ray Johnson get that, look for her shot right off the bat. I know Coach Hammer, he probably talked to her and said, Ray, we need you to be aggressive.
Whistle and the foul before the shot, and this might be on Winston. It is. And Edie Winston, her second.
Second. Well, 15 seconds into the second half, you picked up 2 fouls. See what the Knights do, John, to kind of combat this pressure. See if they look to get backdoor and see if they can get a couple of easy buckets maybe to start the second half.
Kramer trying to lob it in for Addie Johnson and stolen by Hammond. Off for Bueckers. He'll hand off to Dee Winston. Whistle, foul away from the ball. And looks like it'll be on Hammond.
Well, the Knights, the good news, they might be in the bonus before we get a minute
before we get to 17 minutes on the clock.
Half.
Third foul on Hammond. Kramer off to Ray Johnson. Draws a double team and travels.
Well, you got to expect that, and that's Coach Cosgrove right there, switching up his defense. There they trap the first pass. You got to always be expecting that. Whoever makes that pass has to look for it right away. If their person leaves, they got to be an outlet.
Bueckers wide open is Shakolis. Great assist for Paige Bueckers.
She just always feels like she's in complete control, doesn't it, John? With her, when she's got the ball, she plays at such a nice pace. She's got that bounce in her step, head always up.
Ray Johnson fighting to get to the basket, gets fouled by Winston.
You can see, look at those eyes, always looking up, and that's defended perfectly. You want to have help. If you don't come and help, that's an easy layup for Paige Bueckers. And sometimes great offense beats good defense, and that's the case. A lot of times with Paige Bueckers, it's just great offense.
Ray Johnson up and in. A free throw for her 7th point. St. Michael Albertville 9 of 13 from the line in the game. Hopkins 10 for 15.
I think they're doing a nice job, the Knights, of getting to the free throw line. They haven't gone a whole lot in their first 3 games. Tonight, they've been a little bit more aggressive when they've gone to the basket, and they've got rewarded with free throws.
Raina Suggs drives in, right wing, finds Shakolis open. Long 2-point for her. Kept alive by Hammond, and last touched by Addie Johnson.
And Coach Hammer yelling at his Knights, got to box out, make them go over your back. They're aggressive enough, you'll get that call, but you got to put a body on them. You got to box out.
Shakolis for Hammond, nice basket.
Beautiful play, beautiful read. It was a down screen for the inbounder, and they slipped the screen, and I think that was Bueckers on the pass, just another heads-up play.
Ray Johnson trying to feed it through to Cox, traveled.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating night for Kendall Cox. Again, only an 8th grader, very talented. But, you know, nothing that you played in your own grade prepares you playing against girls that are a year, 2, 3 years older at this speed. You just got to play through it.
Gets a hand on that ball, knocks it out of bounds. Cox averaging 8 points per game, but has not scored tonight.
Yeah, you can tell she's been frustrated. Hasn't had a lot of clean looks. The pressure's kind of getting to her, and that's expected when you're in 8th grade playing varsity for the first time.
Winston, pull up from 15. Back iron, not good. Offensive rebound up and in by Hammond.
Hammond just relentless on the offensive glass. You got to put a body on her. She's so long, and she does a nice job of not only corralling the rebound, but being able to score right away out of it.
Ray Johnson a little off balance with that shot, missed. Raina Suggs will push it ahead here for Hopkins, all the way to the basket to score.
That's just a different speed than everyone else. Raina Suggs put it and went from first to second gear and took off, blew by the defender, and easy layup.
Addie Johnson trying to get past Shakolis and Hammond, dishes off the pass to Alexander. On the pass now to Ray Johnson. To Addie Johnson. Missed the shot, Hammond rebounds. Hammond carried the ball. Turnover for Hopkins. You know, going back to Hammond in that last play, get the offensive rebound and put back. Last year you had Holly who could rebound and Bates who could rebound. Well, those girls are gone now. You have somebody that's going to have to do the work on the interior rebounding.
And what you don't remember, what you forget too, is Hammond probably had to battle against them in practice every day, and that's how you get better. You play. That's why some of these young players they're getting varsity experience. They're practicing against juniors and seniors that are the best in the state. You're going to get better.
And Hammond gets the steal here, missed the shot. Shakolis rebounds, and she'll go to the line.
But you see what I mean about being relentless on the glass, John? It's almost like Hopkins is playing hungrier than the Knights are. And when you're down by 24 points, you got to be the one that's hungry. 34 points. There's a miss. It's almost like blood in the water. These blue jerseys are just swarming to the ball.
Shakolis 1 out of 2. Hammond gets in there, gets the rebound and scores.
What a pretty move. Realizing she didn't have the angle, takes the dribble underneath, finishes with the reverse.
Ray Johnson drew the double team, got the ball into the front court to Lily Tennyson. Now Hansen's shot missed, rebounded by Alexander. Back off to Carlson, around the rim but won't go. Bueckers rebounds. Back up for court for Hopkins. Pulls back out, now will start a drive again and finishes.
And again, it's just that beautiful pace, a little step back, and you get the feeling she can kind of get whatever shot she wants to get whenever she wants to.
Ray Johnson trying to answer at the other end, gets her own rebound, missed, and gets fouled by Hammond. And Ray Johnson to the line for 2.
Great body control, Paige Bueckers. And she kind of goes, the great offensive players, they have this ability to go from start to, stop to start really quickly. And that first step she's got, that rock step with the crossover, it's as quick as anyone I've seen in quite some time. And again, only a 9th grader, but just great body control, great ball handling.
Hammond out now with her fourth foul. Winston also out. Presley and Kleist back in. Timeout, St. Michael Albertville after the 2 made free throws by Ray Johnson.
I'll tell you, if you're the Knights, I like Ray Johnson. What have you seen so far in the second half, John? Her going to the basket more, creating 4 free throws. She's being a little bit more aggressive, looking for her shot. I think they needed her to start that way. But you like to see her. Hey, if we're going to lose, I'm a senior. I'm the best player on our team. We're going to lose with me taking the shots. And I like that idea. I like that mentality. Now if you're the Knights, do you start looking to apply some pressure? Do you start looking to maybe get some traps, try to get Hopkins to play fast, see if you can get a couple of turnovers. The problem is if Hopkins is ready for it and they execute against it, they can score in a hurry as well.
St. Michael Albertville, after tonight's game, will take on Moorhead on Saturday, 2:30 afternoon game at home, and they will be at Minnetonka next Tuesday. Hopkins, as I mentioned, at Minnetonka Friday, at New Prague Saturday afternoon.
Well, I think the hope for the Knights is you load up this early non-conference with tough teams, tough opponents. Even if you take a couple of losses, maybe it better prepares you for the playoffs in your regular season.
Presley, a handoff to Kleist. 67-30. It was a 28-point lead for Hopkins at halftime. Presley for Bueckers. Drives, and will go to the line for two. Foul on Ray Johnson.
And again, she went from the top of the key, one dribble hard all the way to the basket. She's got great strides. That was a close one. I like Ray Johnson trying to step in, take that charge. It's hard because Bueckers does such a good job with her body, able to avoid contact, avoid, picking up those charges.
Second one is good. Bueckers 4 out of 6 from the line, has 21 points overall in the game. St. Michael Albertville still hitting for its first field goal here in the second half. They got 4 free throws from Ray Johnson. Now we'll try with a 3, not good. Alexander with a hand on the ball. It's out of bounds off of Hopkins. Last touch by Presley.
Well, Ray Johnson came into the game shooting about 7 3-pointers a game, making about a little over 2 of those a game. She just hasn't been able to get any of them to fall here tonight.
Knights without a 3-point made basket tonight. Kleist almost had a steal there, but ends up in the hands of Hansen. Drives, her shot strong off the glass. Get it back off a pass from Carlson and hits.
Well, good things happen when you attack the rim. You get an offensive rebound and a nice heads-up play. I'll tell you what, Riley Carlson's had a nice game off the bench for the Knights. Just played with good energy.
Kleist will hand off to Bueckers. Left wing, a dribble for Presley, and then back over. Suggs back to Presley. Presley will spin, try to go to the basket, and draws contact, will go to the line for 2.
And that's going to be 4 on Ray Johnson. That's her 4th foul. That's a big play.
Jade Presley has hit on all 3 of her free throws in the game. Johnson now to the bench. Kramer back in for St. Michael Albertville.
The tough part too, John, with Hopkins is you can never rest against them defensively. You're guarding one player and they swing it, you think, okay, I can relax. Well, all 5 of their players can attack you from the perimeter. So you've got to always be in a position to help. And the second that you rest, your guy's cutting and getting an easy basket, or you're not there to help against another player attacking the basket.
Baseline right, up and in. On the basket by Carlson. Bueckers, Alexander aggressive defensively on her and gets the steal. Here's Carlson. She'll take it to the basket and miss on the shot. Kicks it back out. Corner 3, well short. Rebounded by Suggs. Back comes Hopkins. As a player ahead of her, dishes it off, and the finish by Chacolas for the basket. Nice assist by Raina Suggs.
Yeah, Suggs with her head up, and how about Chacolas sprinting the floor again? She's had a number of those. She's got 20 points here tonight, and a number of them have come in transition just by her hustling and getting in a good position.
Carlson. Pass stolen underneath by Hopkins. Now it's Chacolas to Suggs.
All right, thank you for the last one. Now it's your turn. Reciprocity, beautiful thing. And again, transition. You've got to stop Hopkins in transition. They've got so many points off of easy baskets tonight.
Carlson, shot up and in.
Wow. Excellent shot fake and a step through. Again, Carlson, coming into the game, not big offensively, and tonight she's really had a nice game with 6 points.
Jacolis off for Suggs. No shot, a foul on the Knights before the shot by Raina Suggs.
There again, transition, nice job Suggs, and returns the favor, and Suggs with her speed. It seems like every year, John, Hopkins has a guard or two that is so fast. It's just a different speed than anybody else. They might be even at half court, and all of a sudden, by the time they get all the way into the basket, they're 3-4 steps ahead. Just great team speed.
Presley, 3, comes up short. Suggs rebound, a little too strong. There's Jacolis on the other side to clean it up.
I think Suggs is going to claim that was a pass off the backboard. Back to Jacolis. Jacolis, the leading scorer in the game with 22.
The look inside by Carlson. Spins, trying to give the pass off, and it's out of bounds off of Cox, and out of play.
And that's what pressure does. Pressure makes you feel like you got to get it all on this play, and you end up trying to do things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone that you're not normally used to doing. And again, spacing too. That time there was a spin move, and Kendall Cox, number 11, if she got wide, she would have been open there. Just not quite good enough spacing either.
Blocking foul whistle is going down to the court. Hard there was Presley. Last foul whistled on Riley Carlson, and that's her 4th, and she'll come out of the game. Inbound out top, now to Kleist, back to Suggs, started in, now goes back in again. Baseline, off for Jacolis, blocked by Alexander. Cox trying to get the ball advanced, gets tied up, and look at that Hopkins defense. Doesn't look like much, but it's a held ball, Ryan. And in essence,
right?
You're right, it's a turnover.
So what could have been a 2 or a 3 down here ends up being another possession, again, where they're deadly underneath out of bounds. So those are little things, but you give yourself extra 3-4 possessions a game doing that, you're going to score.
Steal by Addie Johnson in the paint. Gives the Knights the ball back. Takes the pass from Dold to the basket. And a foul on Johnson.
Well, nice job by Lucy Swift standing in there, number 11 for Hopkins. Let's see if we can see this. Watch her come over and help. That's just textbook defense. You want to help. You want to be in position. Take away layups. We'll make them pass the ball to the perimeter. Make them knock down a 3. Great help defense. Nice job.
Lucy Swift is a 5'9" junior. Number 11 has the ball now. Off for Kleist. Jacolis, short jumper up and good.
She's an absolutely unstoppable in that 7-foot range. She gets that ball and quickly just right to the rim looking for it, and she's got great touch by the basket.
Ball through the hands of Alexander, back out. Jumper a little too strong by Dold and rebounded by Alexander, and they'll reset. Now Ray Johnson baseline shot up and in.
We haven't seen a lot of that, but that's Ray Johnson at her best. That smooth pace, change of speed, and she's very good with those floaters by the basket.
Winston up too strong. Rebound, and Winston trying to get the ball back amidst the foul as Cox had the board for St. Michael Albertville.
And what'd you notice there that time? Great box out by Cox. She didn't turn her head going chasing the ball. She got good position. And Hopkins is so aggressive. They will go over your back, but you got to get a body on them. And that was one of the first times tonight we've seen that. Nice job by the young 8th grader doing that.
Hanson in, Cox out. Midway through the second half, Ray Johnson trying to drive on Paige Bueckers. Dole, a couple dribbles. Now she'll take it at the basket. Up and around, not good. And it's Hopkins with the basketball and then traveling whistled against Kleist. The defense in the backcourt by the Knights forcing Kleist into the turnover. Dole inbounding. Ray Johnson spinning back out. Hanson around and out. Rebounded by Presley. Paige Bueckers back off for Presley. Back for Bueckers. Nice little dish off. Shakolis up and in.
Oh, it's such an easy game, right? You penetrate, defense helps, and again, Paige Bueckers very unselfish, makes the right basketball play, and Shakolis, she's going to end up with close, maybe over 30 tonight, the way she's scoring the basketball. And she's really done it from everywhere, inside, driving, jump shots.
5-second call. Timeout. There we get a timeout first before the 5-second call. I think we may have. There'll be the last timeout for the Knights.
You know, that's just that pressure defense by Hopkins. You pick your dribble up, and they go into all-out deny mode, and sometimes getting open is it's a matter of will. This person cannot deny me the basketball. How are you going to get open? And basic things, walk your defender in and bounce out. If they overplay, you go back door. And those basic things, though, that's what Hopkins takes away from you. And all of a sudden, you're starting your offense from 20 feet out further than you normally are. And your basic, you know, a lot of teams will have a motion offense. Well, they deny that. So all of a sudden, the offense doesn't know what to do, and you get all out of sync. You play fast, and you end up turning the ball over, taking quick, bad shots, and it's contagious. It seems like it keeps happening over. You got to impose your will, your style of play on Hopkins, and that's a lot easier said than done.
We are in running time the rest of the half once we get out of this timeout here. Margin over 35 points for under 8 minutes to go. Kramer to Ray Johnson. Johnson off the glass, not good, and rebounded by Suggs, who's fouled in the backcourt.
And that's going to be, well, it depends who they get the foul on, 22. They're lucky because, no, they're going to call it on Ray. And that's her 5th foul.
So Johnson fouls out with 12 points, 6 in each half.
You know, sometimes that's a frustration foul, right? You've been frustrated. She got a good move there, got a good shot, a shot she normally makes. It rims out. And that's kind of the way the night's gone so far for her and for STMA. You know, and in this game, that's not going to matter when you're down by 43, 44 points. But in a big game, a close game, if you got 4 fouls with 7 minutes left to play, that's where Ray's got to be a leader, got to just avoid taking that 5th foul. She's too valuable to the Knights.
Second free throw coming here for Raina Suggs. .13 points for her now in the game. She'll come out. Kayla Adams, 5'6" freshman, in for the first time tonight for Hopkins.
Well, I think these last 6 minutes are big for both teams. One, for the Knights, is you're going to get some other players a chance, some young players. Can they start making some plays, get some confidence out of this game? And secondly, for Hopkins, it's a great game for some of their reserves to get more minutes and get some confidence against a pretty good basketball team, good competition.
Kramer, 3, not good. Long rebound, pulled down by Adams. Takes it at the basket, a little too strong. Rebounded and trying to rip it through there is Kendall Cox. And the ball will belong to St. Michael Albertville. Haley Coulson, number 41, into St. Michael Albertville's lineup. Jaden Hansen with it right now. Adams defensively in her. Now it's Kramer. Lily Tennyson knocked away by Adams. Tennyson got it back,
pass.
finds Kramer open underneath.
Yeah, nice job by Lily Tennyson that time with a no-look pass. She kind of got away with that bad pass, was able to recover it, and had a beautiful pass. Really one of the only easy baskets we've seen for St. Michael Albertville all night.
Adams' three is out of play. Get more substitutes on each side. Asha Bozilovic in for Hopkins, along with Jada Bagstead. Kaylin Christian, number 10, in for St. Michael Albertville. Megan Baldwin, number 31, in the game. And also number 33, Megan Bennett. Christian with it now. Off on the pass. This is Tennyson. Under 4 minutes to play. A spin in the lane. It's short by Coulson. And the rebound by Bagstead. And Adams down with it in the front court. Adams will drive from the wing. Dish off. Bagstead gets it blocked by Christian, and offensive foul whistled here against Bagstead.
Well, we saw Bagstead at the end of that JV game really dominant down the stretch when Hopkins was trailing by 12 points there, and she had a big second half. And you can see she's very skilled, excellent footwork down low. Nice job taking the charge on that play by the Knights.
Baldwin's shot not good. Bagstead rebounds, trying to rip through defensively. Comes through with the ball, and then we'll hand it off for Lucy Swift. Getting a hand on it was Christian, and then over and back called on Hopkins. Inbound to Coulson, down low, off the glass, up and in. Lily Tennyson.
Yeah, only a ninth grader. Nice skill there. Nice job. Body control, able to finger roll that. George Gervin would see that.
Right.
He'd be very proud of that.
Kayla Adams strong to the basket. Couldn't get it to go. Good look at it. Ball not in, and the ball on the floor. I think we're going to have a foul on Adams. Yes. St. Michael Albertville in the bonus. They'll shoot free throws. Free throw up and good for Baldwin. Second one missed, and the rebound is Swift. Another front court for Hopkins with 1:20 to go. Adams back out high to Bozizovic. Now to Swift. Bozizovic driving, a couple dribbles, and then back out. Able to work the offense here, not just casting up shots. Trying to find a good look at the basket in the final minute of play.
That or trying to take time off the clock.
One of the two.
It's always hard, though. If you're a reserve, you get into the game and coach wants you to run time off the clock. That's when you want to shine and get your shots up. But Hopkins doing a nice job executing, taking time off the clock. You know, if Albertville could just get a stop in a basket, you know, a couple of stops, John, this could have a tight one.
Under 20 seconds to go. Hopkins will go to 5-0.
Not only that, John, but really send a message to, I think, the rest of the state, handling a very good St. Michael Albertville team tonight and doing it with ease. Very, very impressive, this Hopkins team, and very, very impressive Paige Bueckers.
83-43, our final score. We'll take a timeout. Be back and wrap things up here at Hopkins. You've been watching high school girls basketball on 12 Sports.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Hopkins very impressive tonight with a win over St. Michael Albertville at home, 83-43. Welcome back to the Lindbergh Center. John Jacobson joined by 2 of the Royals players. And let's start with Raina Suggs. First of all, to beat a team like this by 40, pretty impressive. Tell me about your team's effort tonight, Raina.
Man, we just worked hard, really good. Yesterday's practice, we worked really good on defense. Last game, they beat us by 35, and we just had a lot of defense. And we made our shots.
It's a lot different team than last year, a lot of seniors on that group. How much did you younger players learn from that group of players that came before you?
Work ethic, sorry. Oh, shit. And that's it, yeah. Just a lot of hard work, so.
How about the off-season of basketball for you girls? How much did you put into that and getting ready for this season of high school basketball?
We put in maybe like every day, hard work, so. Yeah. Oh, yep.
What's been good about this team's play in the first 5 games outside of tonight's play? What do you think you've done well?
Defense. Very good defense, yeah. We worked hard really on the ball and help side defense and hedging and everything. So.
It showed up tonight. Raina, congratulations on the win.
Thank
you. Hilela Shakola's 26 points tonight. And tell me about that. There's a lot of points coming from you. And tell me about your offensive game and how much you've worked on that.
I try to stay patient on offense, let the game come to me, and just go when I can. And when we're in transition, I always try to just get on the fast break and try to score as soon as I can.
Is that kind of the key for all of you? I mean, you know, a lot of players that can score. Raina can score, and obviously Paige can score. You kind of wait your turn?
Yeah, mostly. We just try to get everybody the ball, try to share the ball, do as much as we can. Team basketball.
Excuse me, Raina talked about your defense. How much emphasis does Coach Cosgriff and the staff put in on that in every practice?
Defense is a real key for us. We try to work on our defense every day in practice. We do a lot of different drills. We do lots of 5-on-5 to practice on different defenses in transition and stuff like that.
This is a good team that you beat tonight. How much confidence does this give you going forward?
I think it gives us a lot of confidence because last year when we lost to them by 35, we were really upset. And this year we knew coming in the game that we had to work really hard to beat them. And I think that we're going to have some success this season.
Your first late conference game Friday. It's against Minnetonka, a team that beat you last year in the championship. Yeah, I'm sure you're looking forward to that one.
Yes, we're all looking forward to beating Minnetonka.
Congratulations on this win. Good luck against the Skippers.
Thank you.
Great effort tonight for the Hopkins Royals. They win it tonight 83-43, the number one team in Class 4A, and certainly looked like it tonight here at home. That'll do it for our telecast tonight. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in for our coverage of high school girls basketball. Our final score, once again, Hopkins 83, St. Michael Albertville 43.